In Romans chapter 1, Paul begins the letter with Paul, a servant of Jesus Christ. And it's interesting how Paul opens that letter. He's claiming to be a doulos, the Greek word for bondservant. Now, a bondservant, let's look at what that means. In the times of this writing, a Jewish person who was in debt could sell himself to a fellow Jew who was wealthy as a way to work off that debt. But after 6 years of service, he would be set free and his debt would be forgiven. However, if he found a wife while he was at his owner's place, he would not be able to take her with him. So some would choose to willingly become a bondservant, a slave for life to his master. Some would choose to stay because the conditions were so good. They really loved their master and they didn't want to leave. After agreeing to do this, the master would take the doulos to the door and pound a nail through his ear and put an earring in that hole for all to see that this person was a doulos. The doulos would be of very low social standing in the Jewish society, marked by that earring, choosing to be a slave, and they would not be respected. So it's puzzling for some that Paul identifies himself as a doulos of Jesus. But he really has the right idea here, one that we all as Christians should adopt. We should be all in for Jesus. We shouldn't just serve him when it suits us, when we're in the company of fellow Christians, when we remember to, only once a week on Sundays, because that's the only time that we really set aside for God. We should be his totally willing servants, wanting to do his beautiful will and to be the love that he calls us to be for our neighbors. Wanting to be so obvious about our faith that you can see it from a mile away, even if it earns us disrespect from others, even if it causes others to put us down, even if the world looks at us like we're foolish, narrow-minded, naive. We should spend our lives in service of him, in loving God with all of our heart, our soul, our strength, and our mind, and loving our neighbors as ourselves. Our love should shine so bright that it shines a light on our Father as the source of our light, and it draws others to him like a moth to a flame, wanting to have that hope, that peace, that joy that they see that we have. My light gets dim with the stress and the turmoil of life sometimes, but I long to be all in like Paul was. I want to be a total doulos for Jesus. I want to be the love that people need and be able to kindly forgive and ignore the mockers and haters and love them anyway and pray for them anyway. And I need to remember that I might be the only person in the world praying for their salvation. So remember, my friends, be a doulos for Jesus. Be the love and be the light. God bless you and love you, and may his light shine upon you, my friends.